Hi, my name is Scott Kane, and I'm the Generic Model Organism Database Project Coordinator, and also I do outreach for the JBrowse 2 project. I work at the Adoptive Oncology Group at the Ontario Institute for Cancer Research with Lincoln Stein. So I'm here to talk about what JBrowse 2 is. It is a fully featured genome browser. It's basically a rebuild of JBrowse 1 using more modern technology, React versus Dojo for the JavaScript libraries. It has new features for looking at structural variants and comparative genomics. It is a web-based app as well as a Windows, Mac, and Linux desktop application. And it has support for lots of common data types, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So in terms of comparative genomics, JBrowse 2 gives two new view types for JBrowse, which is one is a dot plot here. And this is an interactive plot that allows you to select regions and either zoom in on them or when you get the pop-up menu, open a Synteny view. And what you get when you say, I'd like to open a Synteny view is something that looks like this, where this is a comparison of grape versus peach genomes and where they are synthetic. And these are dynamic web instances. So I can grab a hold of, with my mouse, I can grab a hold of one genome and move it, and the lines move along with it. Same for the other one. So it does this dynamically. There is also a structural variant inspector, which is a combination of two views. One is like a spreadsheet type view that for tabular data. So for instance, you could put variant data in here. And over here is a circular view where, if there's information about structural variants in a VCF file, then it will show you where the two spots link. So the spreadsheet view, you can do filtering, searching, sorting, that sort of thing, and go through them and click on the ones that you're interested in. And whether you click on one of these or you click on one of these chords in the circle that joins two regions, basically what you will get is a new view called a structural variant inspector, where basically we've got two kind of windows, one on top of the other with different places in the genome. So for instance, in this example, we've got chromosome 1, we've got some reads coming along here, and then several of those reads abruptly stop and then start up again over here at chromosome 5. You can see that clearly there's a bunch of reads and they suddenly jump over to chromosome, from chromosome 1 to chromosome 5. And so this split point view, you can use it to inspect. This example is from a breast cancer library. So in addition to all those new views, there's also a graphical configuration editor. Both the desktop and web applications have one of these. They are dynamic, so changes you make in the configuration editor appear automatically in the tracks that you are looking at. Regular users are restricted to editing personal copies of tracks, so obviously they can't edit a track, say, that you're serving up on a web server. But there's also a tool that's directed at admins called JBrowse admin that runs a small web server and lets you dynamically edit the web app config. Also, just like in JBrowse 1, you can write callbacks to do more sophisticated things. In JBrowse 1, you did that with JavaScript. In JBrowse 2, because it is opened up to, again, regular users, it instead uses a language called Jexel, which is a JavaScript extension language, and that is used for basically safety. It's basically kind of the same functionality you would get from JavaScript, but with a reduced feature set to avoid anybody doing bad things, basically. There's also a plugin infrastructure. At BOSC in a few days, my colleague Carolyn Bridge will be giving a talk about plugins and JBrowse 2. Let me just say that for right now, basically anything that's in JBrowse essentially can have a plugin written for how it works. So, different views, different track types, different glyphs, accessing different data formats, accessing different data sources. All of those things can be made pluggable. In this example here, this is a plugin that Carolyn wrote that accesses data at the ICGC, cancer genomics data source. And so you can access it with kind of the same ability that you could if you were actually at the website, for filtering and searching for data, things like that.
So yeah, so there's basically several development steps that you can follow our documentation, or you can contact us and we will help you work through it if you want to make a plugin for yourself. In addition to the web application, there's a desktop application. There's a screenshot of that here. It basically has all of the same functionality as the web interface. It has the same ability to be configured, and you can again, do everything you can with JBrowse 2 on the web. There's also an application that is part of the JBrowse distribution called the linear genome view component that is intended for embedding in other websites. So here's an example of the linear genome view embedded into Wormbase, the model organism database. I'm going to be giving a talk on this work also at BIOS in a few days. So if you want to hear more about that, I can talk more about that then. Okay, other things that cores might find useful that I just wanted to mention real quickly. One, the initial setup of instances is very scriptable. There's a JBrowse command line tool that makes it easy. The views are also extremely shareable. If you set up something for a client, like send it to them, there's an option to create an encrypted and secure URL that you can send to any client. And also, that's in the web app. And then in the desktop app, you have the ability to save a config file and send that off to a user as well. There's a wide variety of formats that are supported. I'm not going to talk about them all, but they're all here. Also, JBrowse 2 supports OAuth authentication right out of the box. And of course, authentication is pluggable too. So if you have some other form of authentication that you'd like to use, we can help you with writing a plugin for that. And finally, JBrowse has the ability to fairly easily open UCSC style trackhouse. So that expands kind of the universe of data that you have easy access to. Things that are coming in the future, there is a new version of Apollo that's being written to run on top of JBrowse 2. I know that there are several cores that run Apollo for the clients, and so it'll be nice to have this. I expect it probably the first quarter of 2023, so it's a little farther out, but I just want to mention that it's something that's coming. And of course, we will continue to work with people in the community without JBrowse 2 to help them with feature set and third-party plugin development. You can always contact us to do that.
So in conclusion, JBrowse 2, it's easy to use and configure. It maintains the utility of JBrowse 1, but introduces a variety of new views, and it's easily extensible through the plugin infrastructure. So I just want to thank all the people I've worked with at UC Berkeley and Ontario Institute for Cancer Research. They've all been great. And those institutions have supported the development of JBrowse 2 in addition to the NIH and the Chan Zuckerberg Institute.